Greetings, friends. Today I'm going to go over the different names you might come across in reference to a ball of yarn. So for me, this was always a problem. I did not know what people were referencing when they said skein, hank, cake, center pole ball. So many names for the same thing, right? A big old glob of yarn. So I took some time and let's clear this up. Look, I went through my whole collection for you, my stash, as it were, of yarns. Some brand new, some definitely used down to the nublets. The first one you might come across is a hank. This will be the first one we discuss. So this is literally when a spinner makes the yarn, or commercial, whenever they make the yarn, they just make it in a big loop, tie it off. You have the ties here holding it together so you don't make a mess. Simple as that. Hank. The next one is a folded hank. You won't find this much, I don't think. I've only seen it once, and it was on a vintage bit of yarn I got. Its belly band was literally right here where my hand is. That's called a folded hank. Simple, right? You with me so far? The next one you might see is called a skein, or a twisted hank. And that is literally this. You take your hank and you fold it up, or twist it up, rather. Mine's a lot fatter because it was a short loop, or a short hank. But you'll likely see this at most yarn stores, or LYS, local yarn store. Now, when I started out knitting and crocheting, I came across this a lot, particularly the Red Heart Super Saver yarn. And this one is called a pull skein, or a center pull skein, because it's wound up, kind of like our skein here. But you can pull from the center and actually knit directly from this. And another interchangeable word, ball. You can knit directly from this ball of yarn. Now, mine's a bit wonky because I've been using it and knitting from it. So it's imploding on me. The term for this one is actually new to me. It's called a bullet ball, or bullet skein. It's just like the yellow Super Saver, in that it's a center pull. So you pull out your yarn and knit directly from this ball, but it's shorter, kind of football-y in shape, and fatter. Definitely fatter. Kind of looks like a Delcada melon to me, but that could be my craziness. You guys still with me here? Or am I going too fast? This one here is my favorite, and I bet you can guess the name of this. Here, I'll wait. Put that in a comment below. Do 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 do. Did you figure it out? It's a ball. True blue ball. This is what I always ended up with after my center pole skein was too collapsy. I just wound it into a little ball. How many of you guys have done that, right? Round and circular, pain in the tush to knit from, unless you have a yarn bowl. A new, ancient invention. Reinvented, right? Stick it in and la-di-da-di-da-di-da. It does not go across your room to be chased by cats, kittens, and puppy dogs. Ah, my newest favorite, the cake. It's pretty to look at. It's fairly stable and secure. I haven't found it so good in a project bag. They tend to get tangled on me. But it's wound up and it's a center pull. Doesn't collapse quite so quickly as some of the other center pulls. But there you have it. The lovely cake. All right, this guy here. What do you think he's called? Kind of looks like a donut. Kind of looks like a bagel. It's about the size of a bagel. Be a big donut. But this is a fun one in the sense that I can never find the tail. Actually, I think I may have lied because I think that might be the tail. But your fancy, floofy, super fine yarns usually come like this. These are definitely the ones you just want to squish and rub all over your face. Almost through them all, friends. This one is kind of like a cake, but it's called a hardcore ball in the fact that there's a solid core. I've only seen this really with your sock yarns, or more specifically, your very fine crochet yarns. But it keeps it nice and steady, and I've had no problem knitting from these guys. They keep their shape. I don't end up with a knot towards the end, which is really nice. Then I don't have this one, your cone. I don't have this in yarn. I only have this in thread. I've never seen a cone of yarn, but apparently they do exist. So if your local yarn store has them, oops, sorry buds. If it has it, you can try it. This is ancient. My plastic is falling apart. So I don't have much to say about this. And it doesn't work on my sewing machine. So yeah, I just have it. Last but not least, a Frankenskein. Now I know y'all got one of these, right? I'm not the only one. I've got a bag full of these that I have to go through and unknot and wind into one of my other shapes. Recently, I'm gonna start doing that. The skeins easier to store. Much easier to store than the cakes and the balls. The balls unwind in storage. The cakes get squished and deformed in storage, and then they're not so pretty, right? Now, I guess bonus time. How do you do this, right? I don't have a yarn swift, so I improvise. I'll use the back of a chair or my work table that you just saw, which the work table is a little too big. So you have nice, thin, long, scraggly skeins. Or a ball, which, like I mentioned earlier, I don't like. There we go. I don't like how they work in storage. They unravel and fall apart. So the skeins, I'll show you. Or scrap is a bit smaller than a full, I don't know, full 50 grams. I'm just going to use a book. You want it tight enough that it's not going to slip, but not so tight that you're stretching your yarn. And just wrap, wrap, wrap. And a bit of scrap yarn here. It's a bit long, but that's okay. Now, I like to take the tail and tie it in here with it. Oh, you made quite the mess with that.
Yeah. I made a big messy. It's a whole many chonged a wing. Whoa! Wee! See? So many. I do that a lot of times. And what is this kind of size?
Perfect for storage.
Right? What is this kind of size, Mommy?
Black probably wasn't the best way to do the example, but hopefully you saw what I was doing. If you want a better video on how to fold up and wind up a hang, definitely leave me a comment below and let me know. And that's it. Hopefully you learned something new today, and if you did, share with your friends. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.